Busy people and lots of yellies, Worcester hipsters and fed up townies. We have more than pizza in common, with two rocks for bookends. New Haven, New Haven, New Haven, between two rocks.
And welcome back to the Between Two Rocks podcast. I am your host, Josh Levins, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 26, I want to say. Thank you so much. It's my birthday podcast, everybody.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, pretty exciting. I am 39 years old, which is pretty...
I thought you were well into your 40s.
I do have the curmudgeon nature of a much older man, it is true. But the skin of a... early 30s.
Of a far older man.
It's all those cigars I smoke for breakfast. Yeah, so it's my birthday. We are here on a Saturday evening recording here at Baobab Tree Studios. Welcome back home.
Good to be here.
Wow, you almost forgot how to say it. It's
been so long.
You sent me a text. You're like, have I been fired?
Yeah. No. Has the podcast been, it's continued?
Yeah,
I stopped listening 3 weeks ago.
I'm sure
it's
you
been
have,
going
yeah.
on?
I mean, yeah, it's still going on. I've just been, trying to balance co-hosts, see what different people think.
Yeah.
So.
No, you got to try some worse things to know what you've got sometimes,
Yeah. It's totally. So yeah, welcome back. How you been, man?
I've been great.
Yeah. How's the baby?
The baby's doing good. He's got so many tricks.
So many tricks. Cool.
Smiles, makes noises.
Wow.
Almost sits up, then falls down.
I can do most of that stuff. The sitting up.
I know, you're doing great. I appreciate those things in you.
That's where my friendship really peaks in the sitting up aspect, I would say.
So how does it feel to be doing a podcast on your 39th birthday?
Feels fine. It's cool because it's been a pretty ideal birthday. I slept in. I immediately got very high. And then I played video games for about 2 hours. And then I did a little meditation, a little bit of programming. And it actually worked out because I was like, I should probably do something to help my body a little bit here.
Yeah, nice.
And now I'm doing this. Now I got a comedy show. So it's pretty ideal.
Yeah. And tonight, 39 shots of tequila.
I think I'm going to start drinking again. I think this is the year.
Now's the time.
I'm actually excited. So the comedy show is for the Parade Day fundraiser. And the last time I drank was 2 parade days ago. So I think I'm going to try to weave that into some jokes and just be like, you know how a party's good when you have to quit drinking forever after.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what they think. Probably will make them uncomfortable, but it's fine.
No, I don't think so. A room full of red-faced Irishmen, they're probably going to love it.
Cool. So yeah, I've been pretty perfect. This is the first time I've spoken out loud today, so that's always a good part. It's good. So, yeah. How's your day been?
It's been good, man. Just working. Went to Fussy Coffee earlier. Got some breakfast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, running around. I got a breakfast burrito.
Okay, nice. Why is that so funny to you?
I don't know. I've never had that one before. It was good.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
The potatoes, they were okay. Not salty enough.
Okay. Well, Fussy Coffee, if you're listening, more salt, please.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, our guest this week.
Oh, my God. When did you get here?
Jesus Christ. He's been here the whole time. He just barely moves. So stoic. It's like a
Not a
mannequin.
peep out of this guy.
It's a mannequin in a sweatshirt. He's the... I actually didn't catch his title or anything.
Yeah.
He's the... I want to say director?
The czar.
Yeah,
Directors? All right,
Executive director sometimes.
Executive director?
Chief maker.
Chief maker. All right, now we're just making things up, but all right.
Yeah, that's not a real title.
Executive director of MakeHaven, J.R. Logan. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Great start.
What'd you have for breakfast today, JR?
Yeah. What'd you have at Fussy Coffee for breakfast today?
Yeah. So I skipped breakfast, went right to a late lunch.
Are you intermittent fasting or just...
Yeah. I've been trying to do a little less...
eating?
Consumption, a little less eating, have a daily fast.
Sometimes
I
do this
fasting period.
I do this form of intermittent fasting sometimes where I just don't leave my bed for most of the day.
Definitely.
It's pretty good.
You should get a mini fridge.
Should get one of those robot maids or whatever. Jets and stuff. All right, anyway. So you've been eating less breakfast.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Feel good about that?
Feel good. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So you're ready to just talk about nutrition for the rest of this podcast?
Yeah,
right?
if that's the way it goes. But
you can go any
I'll
direction
do a
you want
promo
with
for
it.
MakeHaven at the end. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. So what did you have for your lunch?
Well, I had some. Well, I have to remember what I had, but I think I had Soylent and
Human?
toast and peanut butter.
Okay.
You know, Soylent, the stuff that you order, and it's got all the
ground up
nutritional
humans?
elements in it. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I'm not aware of that.
Is that a real
convenient.
thing?
I mean, our producer's nodding like it's just
Yeah,
real.
it's big in the tech
Yes?
industry.
Slamming
like,
a pile of Soylent right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fully balanced, so you could you're not supposed to, but you could live on Soylent. That's all you need is 5 bottles.
Yeah.
So each bottle has 20% of your daily.
How many people live
Daily
on this?
needs.
I've heard of
Yeah.
this, but that's not real.
Oh,
I mean, how could that be real?
order it on Amazon.
Huh.
If it's on Amazon, it's got to be real.
Yeah, I mean, it shows up. I mean, but it's convenient and fast, and
Yeah.
supplements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're on the go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I guess we can failed to start the timer, of course. MakeHaven.
Yeah.
What the shit is MakeHaven? I hear it's a place where you can make things.
That's exactly it. You got it.
All right, interview done. Man, I am getting really good at this, I would say.
So it is a makerspace. Not everybody knows what a makerspace is, but it's essentially a gym, but for making things. And it's a whole bunch of different things. We try to have as much variety as possible because it's those collisions of different types of ideas and skills where things get cool and creative. So that means woodworking, we've got sewing, we've got laser cutters, which are these machines where you can do a design in Illustrator or other similar programs, and it will use a laser beam to cut it out of wood or plastic. We are going to be opening up a machine shop that has all sorts of cool tools. We do some printmaking, so you may have seen some art from various individuals who have carved and then printed like a stamp or an old printing press. And it
Stamps
goes
are
on.
cool.
Yeah, stamps are coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So 3D printing.
All right.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, great.
And so it's open to the community in that you can join. You can get a membership.
Okay.
It's $50 per month. And
Whoa.
My
yeah.
gym's 14 a month.
Yeah.
is it? That's a great deal.
Mine is 28, but it's full of Yaleys, so it's horrible.
Well,
My gym doesn't have a laser cutter. That's the difference.
yeah.
Mine probably doesn't either.
Well, we do adjust the price. So we have a scholarship program.
Okay.
So if
I get good grades, I get a cheaper one.
what was that? If
I
not
get good grades. Okay.
It's based on need. So if somebody couldn't get in, we
So I
want
just
to make sure
really
it's
need
accessible.
to use a laser cutter.
We would consider
Wait,
it.
come on,
You should.
I need it now.
Oh, I promised my grandfather.
That is compelling. Some
good.
some folks have more compelling stories.
need one
but,
stamp, bro, one stamp.
We'd look at
I
it.
want to hear a more compelling story.
So how many members do you have?
We are just about at 350, just a little shy of that right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. In fact, when we started, I remember having a conversation or soon after about could you imagine if MakeHaven could support 100-member makerspace? Wouldn't that be crazy? And here
That
we
would
are.
be crazy.
It
You'd
would
be
be
a
crazy.
real lunatic to think something like that.
Well, we've gone past crazy and into something else. So
Ooh.
So
I'm
what are
happy
most of
about that.
those? How many of those
That's the
people actually
K-hole,
come?
I
First of all,
believe.
how many of those people are active?
yeah, so it is.
Yeah, it's like the gym where everybody signs up and then it's basically just me and the normal 6 people.
Once you mention gym, we're gonna bring everything back to
right.
gym.
Yeah, maybe that was not good.
Isn't
of me,
a gym
but
sort of a makerspace for muscles?
that's profound. Yeah, it could be true.
If you ever want to hear gems like this, definitely come to a comedy show of mine. Sorry, come on.
So that is fair. There's a curve, right, where there's some active users who are there twice a day, and then there's some folks that come in once a year. And different people have different values about that. For some people, we just have the unique set of tools that they might have a shop at home, but they want to once in a while use that, and that's worth it for them. Some folks, it's about the community and seeing something like this in New Haven, so they support and renew and get excited about it. Maybe only attend when we have a big event or an opening, something like that.
Yeah. Are there like 1-day passes at all or anything like that?
So we decided not to do that.
Okay.
Basically because we have to do a safety orientation, and then we invest a lot of time and energy in showing you how to use those tools so you're using them correctly and safely.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to take that time, and we'd have to price the 1 day at more than like the monthly. Because the monthly, we assume you'll be there for a while, and it's worth getting you started the right way.
Can you get just a 1 month pass, or is it a yearly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can, like, we don't sell them as 1 month pass, but there's no, you're not like locked in or anything. So you can like start and then just stop, and you'll have the 1 month.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So there's not like a brutal cancellation where I have to fight like a robot or whatever.
No.
Don't send it to collections like the gym.
Cool. Yeah. So if I have a membership, I can just use anything in there?
Anything that you have gone through the orientation and shown that you can use safely. So, and that's a big list.
Sound like a real nerd party over here. Safety.
It's
taking all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Is it though? Is it? But think of the hijinks. I feel
What's
like
the worst injury you ever had there?
The worst injury I ever had there? Well, so
No, not you personally. Anyone there?
Has anyone died yet?
No, nobody.
Has
nobody
anyone
has.
lost
Nobody
a
has
digit?
died. We had a jammed finger that had to have a little cast on it, and we had
cute little cast.
we had
That's so adorable.
we had an individual who had a couple stitches on a finger. Was preventable. They were cutting mat board, and
We probably don't need to hear the gross details. You know?
You don't want to hear the gross
I
details?
don't think.
It doesn't sound that gross. It ended up in 2 stitches.
Like many things, it could have been prevented because we had a special ruler with like a guard, like a metal thing that went over top of it, and it was sitting right next to it. But when you're in a rush, you're not thinking about things. So it was an honest mistake. But
Had this person received the safety orientation?
yeah, we didn't go over specifically what ruler to use when using, so
Were they asked not to return?
No, not at all. We talked about it. We made sure they were.
So does this
helped.
how much does this weigh on you? The fact that you let this person down, like, do you lie awake
let
at
them
night?
down?
Yeah. The fact that you didn't even like tell them what ruler to use.
Now
like,
they're
are you,
deformed.
Yeah, that's right. Are you just
healed all
lying
right.
awake at night? Just like, God, I really can't believe that happened.
Well, it does keep me up what could happen, right? I mean,
Does it
you're
really?
in a shop. I mean, there's tools. Tools have capability to, cut metal or wood or do other things.
Create
It also
or
can
destroy.
hurt people.
Yes.
So that's something you have to take seriously. But there's
Okay.
also like inherent risk in everything you do in life. So you're always measuring. You can't bubble wrap everything.
So would you say overall the biggest thing that's happened to you is the emotional toll for MakeHaven?
the emotion for me personally, the emotional toll?
I wish I could have just asked that question without laughing.
Oh, but it's very funny, so it's hard.
I mean, anything that's worthwhile has an emotional toll, right? Anything that is valuable. I heard that you just had a child. I'm sure that's
Don't bring up
wonderful.
my child. Please don't mention my family during this.
I've been playing this game, Outer Worlds. Huge emotional toll. Do I save the company or do I help the rebels? I don't know. It weighs me down, of course. Do you have any policies as far as like, can I just like if I'm making like a death ray, are you going to intervene or like what's the deal? Can I 3D print guns?
You cannot. We have a
You can't do that legally, I don't think.
no firearms policy. And yeah, it would first of all be illegal generally. It would also be outside of our policies.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So like you have a death ray policy specifically or?
We do not have, it's really firearms, and I don't know if a death ray is a firearm.
I would say
know.
not. It's more of a society annihilating situation.
Yeah.
I would say if we have to categorize things, you could call it a firearm.
You're really busting my balls here.
I mean, I really like people who don't make us make new rules. And I think if you tried that, you would be the creator of a new rule.
This one time when I was in college, I smoked a cigarette during halftime of an intramural soccer game. And they're like, you can't smoke a cigarette on this turf. And I'm like, why not? There's no rule. They're like, well, great. Now we have to have a rule about this. So
yeah, you're out in the
wouldn't
air.
be my
Who
first
cares?
rule. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, also, why are there no ashtrays here?
So what's the most controversial thing that someone's made there that made you a little uncomfortable?
Oh, gee. It takes a lot to make me uncomfortable.
That's what we're getting at. What was it?
Giant swastika.
That swastika's a little too large for my liking.
It's just not tasteful.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of anything that...
I mean, it's a pretty good community of people. It's not, they tend to be pretty chill.
Yeah.
We're the psychopaths who are like, okay, so what are
Where's your
people...
swastika printing press?
Yeah, nobody's tried anything truly controversial that I've come across. But.
We're more of idea guys. We're not really going to follow through with any of these thoughts. Just this podcast is like a lot for us. This is a huge undertaking. It's mostly Eamon's problem.
Yeah. What's the coolest machine you have there? Or tool or anything?
Yeah, what's just coolest by my own definition or...
Oh, yeah.
Impactful?
No, speak for us.
Yeah, so...
Which one would I think is the coolest?
Yeah. Knowing what you know about Colin, having known him for quite some time.
The hammer. I don't know.
Wrong.
Practical, portable.
Oh.
So a lot of folks love 3D printers. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen a 3D printer, people come in and it's, wow, I've heard about it in the news.
Most people come up with like a prefab design, right? Like they download like a model that already exists on the internet, right? They're not trying to model their own things.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. That's a great place to start. And then that can get you into modeling your own things and doing all sorts of cool and practical stuff. Yeah. But 3D printer isn't cool to those who have been exposed to it for a few years now.
If somebody asked you to pose nude for a 3D print, would you do it?
What resolution?
Would you prefer higher or lower?
A lower pixelation would be maybe if it's artistic.
1 pixel.
I could consider it.
You think pixelation is just more artistic? That's just
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to express yourself, and I can see where 3D is a better canvas than just a portrait.
What's the over-under pixels that you're comfortable with your body being depicted in?
Yeah, what DPI would you say
300?
You would allow your junk to be portrayed in?
1024?
I think when it's artistic, you know it when you see it. I think is the quote.
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'd have to experiment
it's going to evoke the Supreme Court ruling on pornography in this case. Yeah.
Well, there's lots of if you look up like low poly, which is just a general way of making a 3D model, like that's a very cool style. And so there's lots of cool ways to make things low resolution and artistic. But as far as cool tools, I think the coolest is going to be our water jet cutter that's coming up. So we're actually going to be having a opening celebration for this thing.
Nice.
What it is?
Are you going to hose people with it? Is that how you celebrate?
That would be
hose a hole right through them.
That would definitely increase our accident to level to a much higher.
Do you have a sign on the
degree.
wall that says it's been X days since our last accident?
We don't. Yeah,
it's just got a big laser cutter hole through it.
Yeah, I've always thought those are odd signs. Like when you go to day 0 and then it's like, well, people, it's only 2 days since it's been an accident, so now we can get in an accident without a big loss, right? Like, or maybe when you're up to 300.
So you've met Pete, classic Pete. Always just like if he's got a chance to hurt himself on that.
Yeah, do you put a
cherry
name
picker,
under it?
He's gonna do it. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
You only ever see high numbers on those X days without an accident.
Yeah, they just take the whole sign
you're just not reporting accidents, are you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a strong culture of not reporting accidents in places like that.
If you're starting a dangerous business, you should put up one of those signs and just put 3,000 days on it. Just right when you put it up, it'll keep everyone from not reporting accidents.
20% of the warehouses I worked in followed any sort of OSHA guidelines. Yeah. And the only ones that did were like UPS that were so big, they were basically forced into it, So anyway, tell us about your workplace injury. Your water jet celebration.
So when's that coming up?
That is coming up on the 21st. So we're going to do
what month?
Of November.
November 21st, 2019.
2019. Yes, I forget. This is a recording. It's really important. So for those of you who this is in the past and
for those of you who this is in the future, I am very curious. Please call in now with your cool feature phone.
But so I was going to explain what it is for people who don't know. Is that fair? Can I jump into that? Cool.
Yeah, anything goes here.
Go.
All right. Anything goes. Well, so it takes a jet of water, unsurprising with the name. There's an abrasive. They're like little, almost like gemstones or like a mined garnet that's embedded in it. And it shoots down at super high pressure. And it can cut through steel or aluminum or actually pretty much anything you put underneath it.
So does it actually shoot? It doesn't shoot out the little things. It basically just like puts the water through those to make it very.
Yeah, no,
so
those things are abrasives that are in the water.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's like a big pump.
So what happens all those abrasives?
Well, they get caught in
Once
a
you cut
filter
somebody in half.
after. Yes.
Where do all the abrasives go?
I know. I assume there's some
Also,
sort of
the blood.
some sort of sieve or something. There must be.
Yeah. So it all gets caught in a filter. But what it gives you the
So there's
ability.
like a special room for it.
Well, it's in our machine shop, so it's not its own room, but it's a dedicated area.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it can do anything. A lot of people have seen like those images on the internet of like a camera cut in half, where you can see all the details different various mechanical devices. That's done on a water jet because it's using erosion. Like you can't do that with a laser because a laser burns everything. You got to do it with one of these tools, and it opens up capabilities for building all sorts of things you couldn't otherwise do. So it's clearly going to be the coolest tool and one of the most unique tools that we have, and people are going to come from all over to use it. And
how far would you say that they would come from? In kilometers.
In kilometers? Well, I'm Canadian
Would you say
by
Danbury?
birth, so that's going to help. I'd say out of state.
Out of state.
We'll have people drive more than an hour easily.
Beautiful.
That won't get you out of the state. Not from here.
Oh yeah, you're right. 2 hours, more than 2 hours.
I was gonna say, what direction are you driving in? Like an hour will get you out of the state.
Yeah, we already have people coming up from New York to use the space. So
really?
clearly,
It's awesome.
that'll
Leave peeping and using our water jets. Gross. And so this happens in the machine shop. It's pretty cool. So what are some other things you can do with it besides cut cameras in half, which I admit is fully cool, but I feel like it's probably not the normal use case.
I need 200 square feet of granite countertop. Can you make that for me at an affordable price?
So, well, we couldn't make that for you because we don't do commission. We don't make things for people call, and I have to
They
turn
give you
people
access
down
to
all
make
the
things
time.
yourself.
Oh, I
I
know.
want to order like 3D prints or so on. We could help you to learn how you could make your own countertop and cut it to your own
I want you to
dimensions.
do it for
Yeah, I
me.
don't.
I know.
They're
Well, this
so
is-
heavy.
We're a do-it-yourself shop, so
Yeah.
you have to do it yourself.
Gross.
Yeah.
Interview over.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, it's
I'm
cool, man.
starting to get it now.
No, that's cool. It's the
And we didn't-
21st. It's in. I assume it's in the shop. This celebration.
Well,
Is
yeah.
that open
So
to
we're
anybody,
probably gonna have
or-
like previous. Yeah, it's gonna be at 6:00. 2:00 with the mayor. We're gonna do a ribbon cutting.
Okay.
And then 6:00 we're gonna do a after work kind of party with members, friends, and those who like celebrating and seeing these sorts of things.
Which mayor is going to be there?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. Well, so the current one, it's still Tony Harp at
Okay.
this date for those people in the future,
Yeah. Okay.
2018 till
Justin
January
Ellicott is going to be
1st,
looking through the window.
I can't wait till it's my turn.
I want to cut the ribbon.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you've never seen a water jet, my only experience with it is at a stone shop, and it, just watching it cut granite is awesome. It's so cool. It's like there's nothing else that can do it. It's very cool.
Yeah,
Did you get it from the School of Architecture?
Did we get it?
Yeah.
No, we bought it new.
Nice.
So we got it through the Elm City Innovation Collaborative grant that was from CT Next, the Connecticut Innovation thing. But we basically wrote in this like additional request. We got some quotes from a bunch of partners, the universities and so on, saying how cool it would be. And they thought it was a good idea.
So what inspired this whole how did MakeHaven come to be? I know it's not, there have been makerspaces before. It's not the first nationwide or whatever. So is this something you observed in another state and you're like, holy shit, this is great. I wish we had this in New Haven. And then.
Yeah. So it was a bunch of people who started it kind of from different directions. So my own personal thing is I was doing a meetup about technology and social change. And then people started bringing 3D printers and we started having a dialogue and then went out to dinner and people put money on the table to make it happen. But also There was folks in like the city. Ann Haynes was doing economic development, was interested in this sort of stuff. There's a bunch of folks doing like things with circuits or interested in computers. So it was
nerds
of the time, and it was happening other places. So people had gone to other cities, seen it, and said, we should have it in New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
These things came together, and a bunch of folks, about 20, put $50 a month in to say, like, let's start it before we even had a place.
Yeah.
Then we got enough to get a deposit, and then a bunch of people brought in their tools from their basement. A lot of them were broken at that point, but we slowly replaced and built up.
Yeah.
And that was back in, 2011 was when it was just forming.
Yeah.
2012 was official. And now here we are several years later with the big space and big membership and
so
things are looking bright.
What was the original space that you guys were in?
Yeah, we were at 266 State Street. It used to be like a lodge of some sort before us. And it was
a lodge?
Yeah,
An
it was like
Elks
the
Lodge?
Knights of Columbus Russell
okay.
Club.
For some reason, I was
And
thinking of people in just like bear pelts, just like I don't know. I don't know what I thought a lodge was.
You're thinking like a log cabin kind of?
I guess I don't really know.
Yeah.
It was such an ill-formed thought in my brain. This was just like there's just a guy in a pelt sitting on but he's in a sauna somehow. I'm not really sure what's happening with this.
I see what you're getting at.
Before we carry on, we need to take a very short break for our sponsors. And then we will return with J.R. Logan from MakeHaven, and of course my co-host Colin Ryan, and I'm Josh Levinson. So please, feel free to hit that plus 30 seconds and just skip right up now. Don't do that. Please listen to the sponsors. My brews are just the most cynical laugh. So yeah, we will be right back. Thank you.
Greetings, and this is Wine Time with Grown Ass Woman, an intergenerational conversation with Ife Michelle. I'm Sexy.
And Sharon Leanne. You make me want to add a name. Make sure you hit us up. We want to hear from you. Again, our email is
gawomenspeak@gmail.com.
And we're back. All right. Thank you so much for supporting our advertisers. We're back here with J.R. Logan. Thank you so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
That was
Colin?
very awkward.
Oh, that was actually significantly less awkward than last time.
Nice.
So
Beautiful.
trust me, this is only getting less awkward. So we're moving in the right direction. So we were talking about the space. You were originally at this bear lodge that I imagined in my brain. On State
Do you guys
Street.
remember what it was like before the commercial break?
Don't have any. Remember your child was just starting to sit up in those days?
He was a baby.
He's just a baby. Now he's off to college. And then, so I'm assuming he just got too big for the location.
For that space?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Or was it more that the trauma of that guy getting the 2 stitches and you were like, I have to start over somewhere.
Yeah,
that was after. That was
I can't be here anymore.
Look at these walls.
Yeah, well, we wanted to do more. We knew we wanted to have more members, in part to be sustainable and also to build our network and have more people and ideas involved. And it was a big jump. So, there's risk involved.
Yeah.
We talked about it a lot. And like, if we expand and it just doesn't work out, like our assumptions aren't right, we're going to go to business. But we're lucky.
So it's like I assume it's like a nonprofit of some kind?
Yeah. So yeah, we're a nonprofit. And our
now
mission,
what kind? Is it a 501c?
Yep, C3.
Oh, nice.
Educational.
Classic.
We're benefiting the
C3.
public, putting
Right
tools
off.
in their hands, providing education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And so how long have you been in the new space?
We have been there almost 2 years.
Hello. Some people were waving. Sorry. I'm not just saying hello to you, listener. Although, hello to you, listener. I hope you're all right. Are you having a nice time? That's weird. I can't hear you. Well, anyway. Where is the new space?
Yeah.
We haven't said. Yeah.
It's at 770 Chapel Street. So better known as...
There's like a big sign, right?
Yeah, there's a robot out in front. So there's a little like mascot, and then there's a window, and we're across from Elm City Market. That's how most folks know us.
Cool.
We do open houses.
I assume if you're hearing this from the future, Elm City Market is closed.
Really? they seem to be doing pretty well, don't you think? Or
I think that they certainly sell products. I have doubts about their profitability.
They're fine. They're fine.
They certainly charge enough, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
We'll see.
No.
Yeah, so 770 Chapel Street.
Yeah, I was saying we do open houses Tuesday nights at 7, so you can drop
you can
in.
come hang out.
You can also just schedule a tour to check it out anytime that I'm available on the website. Take a tour button. So come check us out.
What's the best thing that someone's ever made there?
Oh, there's so many that I'm gonna like drop blank, and like best is different for different people, right? So
For me.
for you,
Still a hammer. Somebody made a hammer.
maybe the most important are gifts. So people like to put a lot of time into really great gifts.
Yeah,
Remember when
sentimental
you're
value
giving something
exceeds
away,
the real
it's better.
value. Yeah,
Remember when I laser cut you that thing in New Haven?
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was that architecture though.
Yeah.
No, I did not use MakeHaven.
I know.
I could have, but I just have like a vendetta against JR.
Yeah.
No, it's just that
Oh,
I worked-
really?
Yeah, that's right.
Should I be scared? Yeah.
No, because I'm very weak and cowardly, so I wouldn't worry too much. I used to work at the Yale School of Architecture, as I'm sure you may know, just because we've talked about this. So I had a lot of access to fancy things like this. So, but then I quit. Actually, did you know I quit Yale? I've actually put in my notice.
I did know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You gave her 2 weeks and they forced you to make it 4 weeks?
yeah, but then
Or
I
did you
talked them
fight
down
back?
to 3 weeks.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I talked them down to 3, but it means I get no time off between jobs. So I start at continuity.
Yeah, it's all right.
In a couple weeks. A week from Monday.
Cool. And
So-
continuity is what? A competing makerspace in New Haven?
That's right. Yeah, we're starting our own
Cool.
makerspace.
Just been mining JR for ideas.
Do you think he knows that we're kidding? I feel like for a second he wasn't sure. No, it's like a financial compliance. I don't know. I don't know what they do. They do like they help companies figure out what their compliance issues are. But it's I don't know. I'm a
Yeah, who
programmer.
cares, really? They're paying you, though, right?
Yeah, they're paying me
Sweet.
to go beep boop boop boop. My usual thing. So it's pretty exciting. I can finally leave the Yale ecosystem behind.
It's actually a pelt-making lodge.
It's
great.
like, I don't know if you've heard of these lodges. So anyway, you do have to bring your own bear pelts, but aside from that, it is open membership. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So fuck
So,
yeah.
yeah,
I
what
just feel good saying fuck yeah.
What are some other cool things that have been made there? I'm curious to...
Yeah, so we have a big textile area. So people
So I can make t-shirts.
well, t-shirts a lot of people don't make, but just because they're so commonly available. But like dresses or other outfits are modifying t-shirts.
Well, I
to
mean,
being,
like silk screening
funky.
a t-shirt.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
the kind of thing that's available because I
Yep,
could use some
absolutely.
Between Two Rocks t-shirts.
You could get a membership and come on over.
Oh
and,
boy, it sounds like the last time I made Between Two Rocks t-shirts and lost $200.
No, you'll recoup your investment in no time.
Sounds very likely.
well, you got to count the fun of making your own shirt too. So we'd have a volunteer
Negative
show you how to do
$50
it.
for that. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, you could do that.
Does anyone run a business out of there?
Yeah, so we have started trying to help, especially startups, and we have a lot of individuals in the sewing area who are exploring what it would mean to be able to become entrepreneurial, to turn that skill they're learning into a small business that could be supplemental income. And we have a space in the adjoining the makerspace where we rent out desks for startups and really small businesses that are figuring out an idea. What we don't have is we're not a factory where people are mass producing an item because it is shared common space. It's a community space. And so we try and incubate folks through the process of discovering an idea, the design, figuring out how to become a small business, maybe testing it and going out to some customers. And we love doing that.
How many dresses could I sew in a week before you start to ask me questions about whether I'm running a side business?
So are you on the record that MakeHaven is not a sweatshop?
Yeah, I will go on the record and say we are not a sweatshop.
Not yet, anyway.
I think
Hopefully soon. A little bit more capital? Yeah, we'll get there.
if it got to the point where you were taking space and it was prohibiting others from using the equipment and learning, I would definitely be having a conversation with you.
Now, what would that
And
conversation sound like? Hey,
it would-
Colin, how you doing, man?
It would be like
It's a good start to a conversation, right?
Yeah.
amazing. It seems
Why are
like
you
this
attacking
thing's
me?
taking off. Yeah. How do we help
Colin's
you
very
grow?
abrasive. This is going to be a challenge for you.
Yeah. So I'd find you whatever you needed, like a sewing machine
MakeHaven
or
course.
Yeah, I'll
Then
give
you
you
could-
kickbacks,
you
no
could grow
problem. Yeah.
grow it on your own.
So did you say that you have like co-working space there as well?
Yeah. It's a co-working space that's focused on makers. So you have to be
Right.
a
It's not
person who's
just like a
building stuff.
laptop person.
Yep.
It's not like
Yep.
competing with District or whatever.
Yeah. So we're
Not
not
making websites. You need to be making actual things.
You need to be making things.
The
and we-
website's not a thing. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's not a real thing. You're on record as saying that you believe that people who make websites, that's not real
I
work.
need to look at the definition of thing, but in this context,
Yeah.
I'm meaning physical things that are,
and nothing
atoms
else counts.
that you sculpt.
I agree with you fully.
Yeah.
Go. How do you
know
feel
what I mean.
having your business
YouTube,
shut
you think
upon-
that's stupid? You
Yeah,
think it's just
absolutely.
not important? Google hasn't added anything to your life?
Yeah, I guess ideas are things. Concepts
No.
are
I think
things.
you should double down on this.
things is- yeah, I didn't know
Are
it was
you
going to
having
get
a
this.
fun-
It's semantic. That's
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
on record now.
No,
with
when
not knowing what things
when
are.
you-
That seems
he came
pretty,
in and he's like, I just want you to know I'm not a regular listener of the podcast. I was like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna make you pay for that for sure. No, it's we have fun here. We have a good time. It's fine.
we're
So
doing
can
great.
you teach me to sew?
me personally, I might be able to teach you a little bit.
Okay.
But we have volunteers that teach you more deeply how to sew.
Oh, okay.
And all the things around sewing. It's not just one type of machine. There's other types of machines
Okay.
that do maybe leather or a serger, which does a different type of stitch.
Why
go
did
back-
you just assume that Josh wanted to sew leather?
I was just describing the variety.
So
of
let's say I
things.
wanted to make one of those masks, right, with the zippers. Like how many years of MakeHaven membership would you say I would need to invest before I could make my own?
Hypothetically.
Decorative. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a PC way of saying it, but I can't.
Well, it'd keep you warm in the winter. For sure.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah. Give mask. Thank you. Amen. Wow, coming in perfect. I was like, there's a word for it, and I can't think of it, but
I think
You
if
just wanted Eamon to have to say it, huh?
it's fine.
if you're ready to work, maybe a week after
Wow,
work.
a week.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I'm
don't think
sold.
it's not super.
think I
I've never
finally-
made one, but
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be too complicated.
Perfect.
You'd have to get the right zipper and stuff. I don't know, but yeah.
No, I got a zipper guy. So what percentage of your members would you say are making GIMP masks that you use for singular time?
Well, I'm not keeping those stats
Above
specifically.
50%? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
What
that
is
guy
your
who comes
data?
in once
It's
a
not
year?
a
What
big
does
thing
your
that
data tracking
funders
look
ask for.
like?
Yeah.
What are your analytics like?
I've never seen one yet, but it's.
You've only been around for a couple
Somebody
of
wants
years.
to make that.
Well,
they can
you're
make
not
that.
there
Why
24
not?
hours a day,
Yeah.
So
Would you call MakeHaven a judgment-free zone?
Yeah, I think we try and be as judgment free as possible.
As
Community,
possible.
You always
Okay.
are trying to work with different folks and
Yeah.
make everyone feel welcome. Yeah.
That's nice. So are there anything in there like you don't know how to use? You know?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I have just a beginner level.
Yep.
And I look forward to being able to use the machines more. I do spend a lot of time helping people get started or directing them to the real experts.
Fitting GIMP masks
So-
on people.
now, you don't want them too loose. That's the main
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Better too tight. Sorry.
No.
We're not going to keep bringing it back to GIMP masks. Sorry about that.
We are 100%. It's way too late.
Follow your passion. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'll help you.
100% my passion. Just because all right, so this all sounds pretty interesting, right? MakeHaven stuff. But I myself, I don't know if you can tell. I know that I come off like a very macho guy in general, certainly.
Really?
And, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
This guy, he's just not with the others. Anyway. So me being extremely macho aside, I'm actually not that handy, right? So how do I, my worry is just looking stupid a lot is really, most of my life is just trying to avoid looking stupid, right? And so when I go into MakeHaven, I want to do a thing, I want to do woodworking. I don't know anything about woodworking. Do you have classes? Or is it more of a because if I come in, I might almost be afraid to ask somebody oh, can you help me? Because I don't want to look like, I mean, listen, I'm trying to be macho, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I don't manly men don't ask for help. Obviously, I'd rather be that stitch guy and leave you haunted for the rest of your life.
Well, first we should work on getting you able to ask for help. That's a separate issue.
Yeah. Well, so how do you
Yeah,
foster
that
an
was a big
environment?
emotional dump all at once right there.
But how do you foster it? No, because I think that is an interesting problem because like, even at like Home Depot, like, you know, I want to ask for help, but I feel weird about it. And I think that's probably a common human thing. I don't think this is that wild.
So,
all kidding aside.
For each tool, no matter what your experience is previously, doesn't matter if you've been making cabinets for 30 years, you have to go through the orientation to that tool. And that's both safety and it covers best practices.
How often does that come over? Someone's like, I've been making cabinets for 30 years. And you got to do the orientation.
Yeah, it's come up. It's come up. But we want to
Colin,
make sure
did you do that?
No.
in our shop that you're following our rules. And so like you also get to go through the best practices. And so everybody has this baseline, and you have a relationship with the volunteer who's showing you how that works.
So you think that establishes a sort of a baseline, someone you could talk to,
a rapport? Yeah, exactly. We have noticed that when we do an event that's organized around like this is for beginners, that we get a great response. And so clearly there's other people who feel a level of intimidation, and it's important that we put out the invitation and say, yeah, you don't need experience. We can help you get to that point. You don't maybe jump on the most complicated machine or take on the most complicated project the first day, but you can go step by step and do something awesome.
You know, start with a GIMP mask. You do sort of or you do like a GIMP mask for like a cat first instead of a person.
Maybe just the eyes.
Oh my God. The torture chamber that goes on in your house is just concerning.
That cat is a weird life. Listen, I just want her to be herself. You know, and if she needs to explore her sexuality in alternative ways, I just want to be an open-hearted
Yeah, I like that.
owner.
Yeah.
I just wish PETA would stop getting involved in my life. Boy, did you miss the podcast?
Do you edit this after? Or
No, this just flies right into the void. Yeah. This is going to be one of those ones where people are like, what's a good episode to just start out? I'm like, start with the GIMP match. MakeHaven. That's
Which one?
Which one, yeah.
This is not the first time that GIMP mask has been brought up.
Has it not?
I mean, GIMP in general has been said probably 3 different podcasts.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We should find
We'll have to go back
We should
in
find
the-
and annotate them.
We should. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool. Just like, because that's something that I always worry about is trying to look competent and like, because I'm not really handy at all. My dad's a psychologist, not super handy. I didn't grow up with it at all. Like, I think that stuff is cool, but I just have no idea. And so,
yeah. Is there
it's
any
good to
sort of
know.
like, I know there's always people that are, know how to use the machines and they're better. Is there any sort of like mentor type of deal if someone, is really just basic and they just want to start working on something? If you're saying, I want to start working on woodworking, is there like anyone to guide you in a certain direction?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 20 volunteers and they have a schedule, and they're 3 times a week, 4 times a week, depending on the tool. There's somebody who is there for 3 hours in the evening. You come in and they're the person that checks you out for safety and orientation, but they're also there as a guidance. People ask them project ideas. They'll walk you through. We have a whole book of like starter ideas for folks who maybe haven't done something before. So
I've never done anything before. It would be a great book for me.
That's the book for you.
I mean, that's the nonprofit part. You were trying to take people and teach them something. So somebody who doesn't know anything like Josh the potential is higher because we can move them further.
Oh, you sound like my middle school teachers. So much potential.
So much potential. Yeah,
this lady's about to get disappointed.
It's terrible when that turns into a past tense. He had so much potential.
I had a question, but I don't. Oh, so if you're like a volunteer, if I'm like an expert woodworker, is there like any sort of discounted membership if I like agree to be a mentor or anything like that? Or do you provide any sort of?
So
if I'm somebody's like, ooh, I'm a metal expert.
So we mostly depend. We have tons of folks that have some expertise and just provide it. They're members and they provide that freely. There's no exchange. The folks that I talked about who are there on a schedule doing really helping people very specifically, raising their hand to do that, they get a free membership.
Oh, nice.
And so it's called our facilitator program. People can apply online if they have the experience to do it.
How many hours a week would you say that sort of thing is like a...
Yeah, it's about 4 hours a week, 3 in the shop, and then like 1 of communications and stuff.
Okay.
A lot do more because they want to, but that's our expectation.
It's about 16 hours a month.
Yeah.
Pays a little over $3 an hour.
Yeah, we're not paying, but
No, the free membership is working it out. Yeah.
it's recognition of the level.
No, it's the prestige. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's the groupies.
they give us advice then on like what tools we should get next, and often they'll volunteer to do additional trainings and orientations and things. So
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, it's awesome just to be able to show off your expertise in anything. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big benefit in itself.
I mean, it's been amazing to me that people do it. You know, when we put that idea out there, I thought maybe it wouldn't last, that we wouldn't find people, and we found people that are passionate and continue to go, and it's been amazing. So
Nice. They should try comedy. That'll destroy their passion.
Yeah, maybe you should be a comedy mentor or a mentee. I don't know.
Is there those options? I would love either of those. Cool. All right. I don't know. I think we're like 45-ish in. Perfect. All right. So let's play some fucking games. Yeah.
Play some games.
okay, games.
Hell yeah. So the first game I think we'll play this week is Steal Something.
You're under arrest.
Also, can we not use the sirens? Because I feel like when I hear it in my car, I'm like, am I getting pulled over? So let's try to come up with a new theme song. And cool. So Steal Something, basically what that means is stealing something from another city that you wish you could see in
Ian Applegate.
Applegate sighting. Mark it down. Put it on your
Mark it
bingo
on
cards,
the big
everybody.
board. 545 Ian Applegate.
Okay. Real quick before we start this, have you heard anything about the whole controversy with him and the dog and 3 Sheets and all that? Let's do some deep New Haven shit right here.
Let's go.
Yeah. So basically, I guess he can't bring his dog to 3 Sheets anymore because according to 3 Sheets, he is a very poorly behaved. Well, no, they all have dogs in general, but apparently outside anyway.
Yeah.
But apparently his dog was like poorly behaved or something and barked at people, and he would leave it outside for too long. Allegedly, this is all what I heard on fucking Instagram, and I'm not repeating to other people.
Yeah,
Instagram drama is the most fun. And so basically, he started like a fuck 3 Sheets Instagram account. Right?
How many followers?
Well, no, I actually, because he runs like New Haven org or something like that, right? And I think he was using it to sort of like
NHV.org.
Right. And so basically, he's been like putting fuck New Haven, and people are like, "Are you serious?" No, because he also runs like New Haven music or something. I don't know. And I was hanging out at some at Rudy's, and they're allowing him anyway.
He probably runs a network of thousands of websites.
You're probably right. Yeah. So anyway. Just be aware. So whose side are you on? That's what I'm getting at.
With this limited info that I've heard about for the first time, I don't know. I'm a fan of just not having dogs in bars. I don't know. It's a people place.
It's true.
I don't know. I'm a dog lover, but I don't know. It's
because if you allow people to bring dogs, now I've got my cat in a gimp mask, and it's like,
yeah, let that gimp cat in.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to derail this with just like Instagram drama, but it was something interesting. Also, like 3 Sheets lets me host my monthly open mic there, so I'm generally pro 3 Sheets. So.
Yeah, totally. I love 3 Sheets.
Yeah, totally. Hey, folks, how's it going? Cool. So steal something from another city.
You're under arrest.
I'm gonna start because I was recently in St. Louis, Missouri.
Ooh.
And they have fucking awesome light rail. Their metro system is so good, and it runs pretty frequently, and it's like $2.40 a ride or something. And it made me so excited to like go downtown, hang out, and then just know like every 15, 20 minutes I can just catch a nice light rail out there. It's fucking awesome. Also, maybe a giant arch. That might be nice.
Yeah. Golden arches don't do it for you. You got to go bigger.
I mean, if McDonald's wants to just embiggen their arches, that's fine by me.
Well, the spirit embiggens the smallest man, you know?
It's perfectly cromulent use of the word. Yeah, so I'm going to say I want light rails. I know it's never going to happen. I would accept more frequent buses. Also not going to happen due to money, but you know. What else about St. Louis? Good barbecue. I did have some meat out there. That was, a special occasion.
Yeah. So they do wet, right? Wet barbecue?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the drug where you soak embalming fluid.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, yeah, they do that, probably.
I've been talking about that in years.
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
So there's wet and dry barbecue.
Yeah.
Dry is like a dry rub. And
Okay, yep.
Certain regions do it
Yeah,
differently.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It was good though. Yeah,
Was
brisket
it
and shit?
wet? I mean, that's how you would be able to know the difference.
Yeah, I think it was,
Like it
yeah.
has sauce on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I strongly recommend Sugar Fire. Check it out. Downtown St. Louis.
All right.
Very good.
JR, what do you got? I'm still thinking.
Yeah, so got a couple different ideas, but I think I've been to some wharfs where they have like the buildings and they sell food and stuff like out on the long dock, and you can walk out and there might be music and experience.
Very romantic. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be
I was
awesome.
thinking
I
like
love
a
the
bunch
harbor.
of fishermen out there. You were thinking romantic?
Fishermen also experience love, Colin.
No, but it was a real like
Often
like
with
there's-
each other.
There's big fish on hooks, and
Yeah.
maybe that's your idea of romance. I don't know. Anyway, it's your
Love
vision,
is
JR.
love.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's just something you could walk out on, enjoy the harbor from the perspective, listen to some music, get some food, something that brings more people
Right.
out.
Are
in
there
that
young
area.
lovers there or not? Though that's
or
the question.
just people with hooks for hands and the yellow jacket, you know,
Or both.
classic. Or both. That's what I'm saying. Why
Maybe
can't
they
they
are
love
the
each
young
other?
lovers.
That's what I'm saying. So the Snack Shack's not doing it for you. You need a little more down at Long Wharf.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about this deeply, but that's my
That's
my
okay.
first
Yeah.
no limits.
This podcast is not for thinking deeply.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear.
This is shoot from the hip.
Absolutely. None of these thoughts are well
And
articulated.
this is not supposed to be realistic. This is just
Nah, it's whatever you
Whatever,
want to do. Yeah. One person recommended the Daily Planet, so that's not
Yeah.
even from a real city.
I was in Springfield, Mass recently, and they had a membership-based space where people could kind of build things with their hands, and just like anything,
That'll never
woodworking,
work
3D
here.
printers,
That would never
sewing.
work here.
I think if you get enough members, there's not enough interested people right now, but if you start small,
Stupid idea.
that's
Never work.
Idiot. I don't have anything.
Yeah, we've come up with a lot of ideas
Yeah.
over the episode, so it is hard. I only had one because of St. Louis, and
Yeah.
even then, I had a better idea, but I've since forgotten it. So
You know what I was thinking?
about-
Actually, a roller coaster. I remember we said that as a joke in the
Yeah.
past, but when where was that? Lake Compound? So we went to. Yeah, that was a blast.
oh yeah,
I'd go on a roller coaster every day if it was
Absolutely.
nearby. If we had one at
I would
Long
pay
Wharf,
$50. I would drop my MakeHaven membership
in
right now.
a second. Oh my god!
I'm not a member.
Yeah,
It's
I was
true.
gonna say what.
Do you know all the members?
Not always. I
Yeah.
have a good recall of most, but you do lose track.
Yeah.
Do they all sign up with their real names, pseudonyms? How does that work usually?
We check. Yeah,
Do you?
yeah. We
Wow.
have them show a form of ID.
Okay.
So it's the
Really?
American citizens.
Oh yeah, of course it's open to anyone.
Okay.
But we're not
You're
doing
not ICE.
What do you
Yeah,
check the ID for?
to make sure that the name is the name that they put on their waiver. So there is a
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
liability
Yeah,
waiver, and I want to make sure that Donald Duck is not signing on
Brings it
behalf
back
of
to the
somebody, and we have
safety,
no
the
idea.
orientation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
Ducks can't operate laser cutters, Colin. It's just a rule.
They don't have proper hands.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Good game, everybody.
Yeah.
Really knocks out of the park. All right, up next is everybody's favorite game, Fuck, Marry, Kill. This time, we're doing it about fabrication tools because, of course, that's the sexiest thing.
Is there a sound effect on Fuck, Marry, Kill?
Yeah, there's it's like a sexy soundtrack.
Yeah?
Yeah, so probably
right.
while we're talking right now, it's all sexy. We can't hear it, but
I love it. Does it
Remember how
run through the
earlier-
whole course of the game?
remember how earlier I was saying how macho I was? JR didn't know I was kidding. And he's like, really? I was like, okay, you know what? You don't have to disagree that strongly.
He was disgusted.
Fuck, marry, kill. So basically what we'll do is we'll pick like a tool you love, so that'll be your marry. A tool you like fuck with, like, oh, I enjoy this, but maybe not like an everyday.
So it's not literal.
No, you don't have to fuck a sewing machine. That's right.
Oh, God, not a sewing machine.
But what? What would you? Go on. What concept works here? Or no, it's not literal. It's a figurative game. And then kill would be like a tool that you just wouldn't really use. But obviously, it's gonna be hard for you as the MakeHaven like person to really shit on a tool. So we'll do it for you. Just wink at us, and we'll let you. We'll be like, sewing machines are bullshit, and we'll take them down. We'll do a takedown for you. So I would fuck with a laser cutter because They're pretty awesome, and they're actually not that hard to use. You can actually find, like, if you find like a grayscale image, that's usually like a pretty good thing, because basically the different levels of black will be the like power of the laser. And so that's how like that I made that thing, where it's basically like you find an image, you can kind of like lay it out and do it, and it's like people are really impressed by it, even though it like was not that hard to do. You know what I mean? Plus there's always the chance of fire, which makes everything fun. So that's my answer for fuck.
I would fuck with a water jet. I've never used it before, but I would love to. It looks awesome. I don't know how much manual control is. The other thing I would fuck with, I'll give 2, is a sandblaster, like with the cabinet where you stick your hands in there. We had one in shop class in high school, and I never used it, and I always regretted it.
Your one great regret in life.
That's my one great regret. Yeah.
Nice.
Does it have to be something we have, or
I
maybe
guess,
something
I mean,
we want?
whatever.
No rules. So something we do not have, but I would love to, is like metal 3D printers. So they like put this powder down, and a laser fuses it together, and you can print amazing things. They're incredibly expensive, but it just
Like how expensive?
would be awesome. Oh, at like 100,000, 200,000.
Okay.
You know, lots of, like a house expensive.
Okay, yeah, a couple more of these podcasts. I think we'll got you. We got you.
got it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We're doing great here. Just a couple more ads. Kev just gave the thumbs up.
All right.
So that's the advertising revenue's really rolling in. Cool. That's awesome. Let's see. I would marry a sewing machine, because it has always been my fantasy, and I use that term in the erotic way, of course. No, in the normal way. I just wish I could like tailor my own clothes. You know, I think it would be awesome if you could like, if I could buy a shirt and then just like make it fit, because I'm not spending like clothes that fit money on stuff. You know what I mean? Your wife is calling me, which is a little weird. Should we pick it up?
No, we don't have much time left, do we?
No, we don't. But it would be the first on-air phone call.
It would be.
But I don't know if we should bombard her in such a way. We're probably running a little behind time, so she may be expecting. Anyway, yeah, sewing. I've just always wanted to learn to sew. My mom gave me a sewing machine and then passed away. So now it's like an heirloom sewing machine.
Oh,
it's
yeah, you
not
still
really.
have
It's just I do still have it. Yeah,
Nice.
I don't have the heart to throw it away or anything.
Yeah.
But I would love to learn to use it. I just I'm too busy trying to get good at comedy, which is not going great. I should probably just focus on the sewing, I would say, would make more sense than...
Yeah, that could be a turn in the right direction.
Fucking asshole. So yeah, sewing machine. That's my marry.
I would marry my leaf blower. I consider that a tool.
They're so bad for the environment, though.
No, I have an electric one.
So,
Why is it bad for the environment?
It's just so much electricity for like pushing leaves around. So
Really? I just charge it.
the gas ones are terrible, but I guess electric is less bad.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah?
It's so fun.
Yeah?
Feels so satisfying
You're
afterwards.
just shooting air at leaves. It's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
guess.
blasting air. Yeah,
Plastic.
it's awesome. I'm cleaning with air. It's great. That's my Mary.
So my Mary. So I'm trying to think of like what qualities you're really looking for, and I think it's probably versatility and dependability. So I think I would if I could have like a chest
I'm
of
marrying for money.
for hand tools, right? Because anything you can do in the whole shop at the end of the day, well, almost anything, at least with wood, you can do slower with hand tools, and they're dependable.
Which I definitely
and
can,
they're charming.
as I said, I'm a macho man, and I know how to do those things.
Oh, macho men often will do those things. Yeah. So, yeah, set of hand tools.
Set of hand tools. Wow, going old school on us. All right, cool. He's really selling us with these hand tools and metal 3D printers he does not have.
Yeah.
I agree. You should not use this game to promote your... No, I think by now people are either in or out, right?
Yeah.
So kill, I would say... That's a toughie. I guess I don't even know. I guess any sort of metalworking, anvils, that sort of thing, blacksmiths.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I leave that to. I don't like all that hammering. It makes me. I always hated that in like industrial arts growing up. Just you had to like hammer and like, oh, it's vibrating my skull. It makes me feel unwell.
Okay.
I'd rather have
just
the
a
local
hammer. You don't want to You'd kill a hammer.
Well, blacksmithing, I would say more.
Okay.
Heating up and then really hammering. No, regular hammer and a nail, that's fine.
Yeah.
Although even that, I would say
Too much vibration.
too much. I have to exert force against that. I want that Homer Simpson mechanical hammer
Perfect.
that puts a hole in his wall immediately.
Yeah. JR, how about you? You go first.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this. I might need to make you go first because each tool has its own role, and I don't dislike any.
Mm-hmm. Do you consider guns to be tools like any other?
So it's not one thing that we have. But yeah, sure, I would kill guns.
It's only the person that makes them dangerous.
That's right. Guns don't kill people. People kill people, especially people with lots of guns. Very good at killing. All right, great.
I would kill a snow shovel. Hurts my back.
Yeah, I have you own several houses, so you have responsibilities. I only own
Maybe
one
I'd kill
small.
snow.
We are actively working on it as a species, so I think, in our lifetime we could see the end of snow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a very small driveway. I actually kind of like shoveling. Like I don't know. Just it only goes 45 minutes. Is that your wife calling you? No. Hell yeah.
Oh, we're good. Yeah.
If you get divorced over this podcast, I would just like to take credit. Okay, next game. How to destroy Colin's marriage.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new game I just came up with. No, the last game we're going to play is Mayor for a Day. And basically what it is if I gave you a cool $1 million, no questions asked.
What's the sound effect here? Cha-ching!
I actually do. I think it's like like a marching song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's good
like
that
a
you
parade?
don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like Hail to the Chief or something.
Gotcha.
It's cool. I can tell you listen to the podcast very closely that you don't know.
I mean,
the
the shower
sound
only
effects.
takes 10 minutes, what are we, an hour in here?
About, yeah. So yeah, $1 million. Do anything you want in New Haven. Improve something. Some people squander it on public schools. Huge waste of money. Anyway.
Yeah, don't say education. It's a black hole.
That's right. Only raids at Dalio's money can save us now. It's not true. But anyway. I would spend $1,000. I would spend $1 million focusing on R&D to make better bagels in New Haven.
Really? Is it bad bagels?
Our bagels are just so blah. We're so close to New York for our bagels to be so marginal. You know what I mean? It's wild. It's unacceptable, and it's a source of...
Won't stand for
What's
it.
reverse pride? Shame. It's a source of shame. Or as I call it, reverse pride. Phrase I just invented because my brain doesn't work. Yeah, so that's mine because I've run out of good ideas episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. I would take the $1 million and do $1,000 a month universal basic income for one person in the city.
Ooh, who is it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Like a lotto?
It would more be how would that person's life change, but it would really be a psychological experiment with everybody else knowing that one person was getting UBI.
It's like a reality show?
I think it should be.
All right, JR?
I think I would step it up for our trails and parks and just make sure that we have a system that's all connected.
Oh, yeah, you were heavily involved in like the Mill River Trail and stuff, right?
Yeah, and that appeals to me. I love being connected to nature, and I think that the city has a lot of wonderful assets when it comes to parks and green spaces, and having them connected makes sense. And maybe put some art and cool things along the way if we have money left over.
Nope, you're long out of money.
Yeah.
we
There's
are
no
long
way.
out of money,
You're not gonna have art money. Jesus Christ.
Do you remember when cleaning up Sleeping Giant cost $140 million in 2 years? What happened there?
I don't know. Have you been there? It's pretty wild.
I haven't been yet. No.
It's pretty wild. Yeah. It's pretty significant changes.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of stuff got knocked down seemingly. So,
In what ways? Just missing trees or what?
Yeah, a lot of missing trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you can see some huge ones. They're not covering the trail anymore, but yeah. Okay, well that brings us to the end of our episode. So, JR, where I assume there's a website people can find out about this stuff.
MakeHaven.org.
Okay. Do you have anything else you would like to plug while we're here? Got any bands?
Is
or,
the .com taken?
I think we also took the .com just
Ooh,
as
good call.
as a backup.
Nice. You're squatting your own
Don't wanna-
domains. Love it.
Got to. Don't want a porno site going on there.
Hey, man, as the guy who owns joshlevinson.us, I get it. Which is I am currently redesigning and it is not being actively maintained. So don't go to that website. That's a good plug, right? BetweenTwoRocks.com. Come check that out. I've been trying to publish more often. So
I notice it's incessant. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
incessant. I think that's what you're going for, right? You want people to feel like they're being bombarded. You know,
Definitely.
yeah, that they just want relief. Anything you want to plug, Colin?
No, nothing.
Just
I'm
your
almost
own-
done with another house. We're going to have another Airbnb up and running soon.
Very
I'll
cool.
plug that in 2 months.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, JR. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Great
and
job.
we will see you next time.
Busy people and lots of yellies, Worcester hipsters and fat up townies. We have more than pizza in common, with 2 rocks for bookends. New Haven, New Haven, New Haven. Between 2 rocks.